When a discovery contradicts existing physical models, those facts are rarely destroyed. Institutions often respond by categorizing the data and locking them away, prioritizing global stability over the friction of an informed public. This Stanford Law Review excerpt defines a shallow secret as one where citizens understand they're denying information. You know the file exists. Deep secrecy, however, occurs when officials conceal a program's very existence, keeping outsiders entirely ignorant and unable to check that information's use. This management of information scales based on the intensity of the discovery. It moves from the development of advanced aerospace platforms to the active manipulation of human psychology, and finally to phenomena that challenged the known laws of motion. The primary motivation for this concealment is the preservation of geopolitical equilibrium. By controlling what is known, institutions attempt to manage the very reality that the public inhabits. Area 51 is the most famous example of a deep secret evolving into a shallow one. For decades, the facility at Groom Lake was officially denied. Today, it's an acknowledged testing range where the government admits withholding details for national security. While public folklore focused on unidentified flying objects, the military used the site's isolation to test high-altitude reconnaissance craft programs like the U-2 and the Senior 71 Blackbird provided intelligence capabilities that were kept hidden from public maps for years. Today, the focus of hidden military hardware has moved toward weapons that can bypass modern air defenses through a combination of extreme velocity and maneuverability. This diagram shows the tactical advantage of hypersonic platforms. A standard ballistic missile follows a high predictable arc. A hypersonic vehicle maintains speeds of Mach 5 or higher while traveling along a low, unpredictable path, making it nearly impossible for ground-based radar to track. This is the Chinese DF-17. It's an operational hypersonic glide vehicle designed to threaten strategic bases, closing the detection window to almost zero. Consider the U-2's timeline. It flew at 70,000 feet for nearly 60 years before the CIA confirmed its specific activities at Groom Lake in 2013. This history suggests that the military hardware currently disclosed to the public is significantly behind the technology actually in operation. Hidden management also extends to the architecture of human power at Yale University. The Skull and Bone Society operates out of this windowless tomb, maintaining a private network of members who have occupied high-level roles in the executive and financial branches of the U.S. government for nearly 2 centuries. These groups don't rely on mysticism. They use exclusivity to create a reliable system of intergenerational power transfer, ensuring that institutional control remains within a small, trusted cohort. This model was refined by Adam Weishaupt, the founder of the Bavarian Illuminati. He advocated for a strategy of concealment, commanding followers to infiltrate existing libraries and Masonic lodges to turn the public mind toward his specific goals without ever appearing in his own name, while secret societies manage power through networking. The state has also explored more direct methods of influencing the individual human mind. In the 1950s, CIA chemist Sidney Gottlieb LED project MK-Ultra, which sought to identify drugs and procedures for behavioral modification. This included psychic driving, where unwitting subjects were forced to listen to repeated recorded messages while under the influence of powerful psychoactive substances. Most MK-Ultra records were destroyed in 1973 by order of the CIA director. Because the experimental phase of mind control was largely conducted in secret, it remains unclear how these techniques were integrated into intelligence operations once they reached maturity. The ultimate escalation occurs when a discovery contradicts their fundamental understanding of physics. This is the challenge posed by unidentified anomalous phenomena, or WAPs. Military pilots and radar operators have documented objects that exhibit capabilities far beyond known terrestrial aircraft. These events were eventually categorized by the Pentagon into a framework known as the 5 servals. One of these is instantaneous acceleration. While human pilots are limited to roughly 9 Gs, sensors have recorded WAPs jumping to hypersonic speeds at rates up to 600 G forces moving at Mach 10 without sonic booms or visible exhaust. This altitude data reveals another observable trans-medium travel. These craft have been observed dropping from 80,000 feet to sea level in seconds. They transition from the atmosphere into the ocean without losing momentum or suffering structural failure. These objects lack wings, rotors, or any traditional propulsion systems because they exhibit no friction or interaction with the air. Some researchers suggest they aren't pushing through the environment, but are instead utilizing a system that modifies the local metric of space itself. This represents a total destabilization of scientific reality. If an institution were to admit that these objects exist, it would also have to admit, at its own, technology is fundamentally obsolete. When deep secrets are threatened by leaks, intelligence agencies employ a specific tactic. The limited hangout institutions offer partial disclosures, sensational but benign stories. By revealing one half-truth, they satisfy public curiosity, preventing scrutiny of the damaging reality. Allow declassifications like Area 51 act as pressure valves, releasing just enough to keep the broader architecture of secrecy intact. We are often told that we live in an era of unprecedented transparency, yet the systems used to manage information have only become more sophisticated. The ultimate secret isn't a hidden weapon or psychological program. It is the architecture of control that determines what the public is allowed to believe. The next time a startling discovery is declassified, look at the timing. Determine if a new revelation is an act of genuine transparency or a strategic effort to maintain the deep secrecy of a larger reality.